until self-realization occurs, the world always remains a distraction from oneness until oneness itself awakens. The world as a distraction, you build another world in its image. And it's the world in this image that is the inferred meaning of what you think the world is. It's kind of like a facsimile, a screen that covers reality or covers everything you see by your inferred meaning, how you've personally experienced, what meaning you give it. So from distraction, we create an illusion. We create something that is an inferred meaning that doesn't know the true meaning, so to speak, the ego. And in the Course in Miracles, the ego is called the mad idea. And then when you see the distraction, when you see your relationship to the distraction, you see how getting lost in the world, you've acquired your own meaning. Come to see that there are two things, the acquired meaning and the world. The truth is, you don't even see the world for what it is. You think the world, what you think it is. Get caught up in this inference. And then as awareness, you may be lucky enough to see how the difference between inference and the mind. Meaning, you may be lucky enough to see the relationship you have with the mind and see that it is the relating that equals not true relationship, that equals illusion. But the ego likes to blame the world and likes to annihilate the world or get rid of the thoughts, get rid of the feelings, you know. And of course, this is inferred meaning. But if you're lucky to meditate and to see that this false perception, false perceiving of the world is in fact the attachment, is in fact the illusion. What happens then is as awareness, one can stop identifying with the perceiver, with this inference, and actually come and investigate what is prior that as awareness, the witness. And abiding as the witness, one can awaken to what's called apperception, seeing from that, seeing from awareness itself. Awareness without any inference whatsoever, without someone being aware. And this is the craftiness of the ego. The ego would even get in on that. Will say, right, sit down and be aware. Who's saying that? The awareness I speak of is way behind you, seeing, present. There's no one doing it. When this awareness can be distinguished from the activity of a perceiver, when it can distinguish itself from the reaction to the world, the doership of the world, one then can remain as the witness, and the witness can awaken to this reality without anyone doing it. See? And from that, you come to see that you're innocent. It's only here that you're innocent because it's prior experience. Okay, it's prior any manifestation, it's prior the world, it's prior the thought you have of the world. This knowing is the only true knowledge that you're born with. That's actually God-given. That comes from the deep. When that awakens, the tendency to react to the world can fall away. This is what they mean by seeking can fall away. And from this innocence, that in the Course of Miracles they call sonship, the sonship can witness the world in a way where the world becomes innocent. Again, the world is the experience of what is seeing. This is the return to Christ, the return to sonship. To look at the Course in Miracles, the return to sonship. And it's from the sonship that awakens, that corrects the world, that corrects the extension, as they call it in the Course in Miracles. One extension being the mind. Okay. So we can reduce the world to the mind. That's all the world is to you. It's mind. There's nothing outside of it. It's just mind. That's all you need to focus on. You come to see that the world does not exist separately from the sonship. So in the return of the sonship, in the second coming, the world is corrected, it's seen. And the world is not separate from what is seeing. In that sense, the world exists and doesn't exist. A paradox that can only be understood via the awakening of what you truly know. The world is innocent, but the ego loves to blame it, loves to attack it out of guilt from not remembering its true face in its own acquired meaning, knowing that it's a lie. It's not knowledge. It knows that. And it's the mind that is corrected from the distorted perception, because the way you distortedly perceive the world in your own image, you create that image in your mind and you judge the world, and the world sort of becomes that to you. The world becomes a nasty place or a judgmental place or a fearful place. It becomes that. But then when that tendency to react, have that reactive relationship from the world, from separation, you see from the witness and it corrects the world. It allows the world to open up and to be not other than what is seeing, and what is seeing being the experience, and what is appearing start to move as a being. So correction of anything in your mind, correction of anything in your body can only be corrected by what is seeing. And it's here that what is seeing is action. The sonship is action. It's sonship that corrects, not what you think, not what you can personally do. That's just a reaction to yourself. It's a false relationship. So when we're young, we develop a mad idea. And this mad idea is I. And this I thought is what judges and condemns. By identifying with the mind, it identifies with unconsciousness. What you truly know is pure consciousness. It's the light that shines in the dark. It illumines, it enlightens. corrects. It's that is being. It's just true meaning. The Course in Miracles is a beautiful book. When you see from what you are as the sonship, as the gnosis of oneness, seeing that the origin of that is simply just one. It doesn't split off. It doesn't. It remains permanent, and from that non-location, or from that depth of seeing, you just come to see that in all things. And when you can remain as knowledge, remain as knowing in relation to what is deep in the experience of your person, allowing the person to reflect what you're being, allowing your person to correct as a result of seeing, rather than separating and doing. When you get to that place where what you know is what you live for, then it's here that you then see people. You see your brother, you see your sister. And by maintaining that reality of oneness, it helps other people to, helps them to be corrected also. It sees the innocence in everyone. Even if someone is totally got it wrong and they're thinking in a reactive way, in a I relationship way, you can still see the innocence in them, even if it's sleeping and it's dormant. And it's here that you can help in the correcting of your brother or sister. By relating to here from what is not here.